What's up, everyone? NBA news has been pretty dry ever since the finals ended, but that's about to change very soon. NBA free agency is set to kick off November 20th, just 2 days after the draft. This isn't a free agency class with a lot of superstars available, like there will be in 2021, but there will be plenty of guys available who could be difference makers. So in this video, we're going to predict where the top free agents of the 2020 class will be going. But before we continue, if you like content like this, please like the video as it really encourages the YouTube algorithm to recommend it to more people, and please subscribe as it really helps my channel to grow. Now let's get started. The first guy we're going to talk about is the cream of the crop of this year's free agency class, and that's Anthony Davis. I think it's pretty obvious where AD is headed, so I won't spend too much time on this one. AD is fresh off winning a championship in just his first year with the Lakers. He's got a great chemistry with LeBron, and he's even said he'd like to go to 9 more finals with him. I expect that AD will re-sign with the Lakers on a max deal. The second best free agent available is Brandon Ingram. Ingram is another guy who's obviously not going anywhere. I know plenty of fans are hoping their team can sign him, but he's a restricted free agent, meaning the Pelicans can match any offer sheet. With Zion's health a concern, Ingram is currently the franchise player of the New Orleans Pelicans. I expect Ingram and New Orleans to agree on a max deal the second free agency starts. The next guy I want to talk about is Fred VanVleet. VanVleet is a high-quality starting point guard for the Toronto Raptors. He may be undersized, but he more than makes up for it with his strength and grittiness. Despite being only 5'11", he's an elite defender, and on offense, VanVleet is a great three-point shooter and facilitator. VanVleet also played a huge role in Toronto winning a championship last year. Fred VanVleet has also made it clear that he's looking for a massive payday, so whoever gets him isn't getting him for cheap. Teams like the Knicks, Suns, and Pistons will be looking to sign VanVleet, but ultimately I think he ends up back in Toronto. Toronto does want to save cap room, but VanVleet is too important of a piece for them to just let him walk. I think the Raptors will retain VanVleet on a multi-year deal worth $20 to $25 million a year. One of the more underrated free agents this year is Christian Wood. Most casual fans don't know about him because he played on an awful Pistons team, but Wood low-key put up all-star numbers last year after the trade deadline. In the last 12 games of the year, Wood averaged 22 points and 10 boards a game, on 54% shooting from the field and 37% from three. Wood is about to get paid big time off that production. I'm sure the Pistons would love to have him back, but he's an unrestricted free agent, meaning he can go wherever he wants. I think Wood sides with the Knicks, who are expected to make a run for his services. The Knicks will look to build a strong front court pairing with Wood and Mitchell Robinson. Wood shot 39% from three, so with Wood's floor spacing abilities, the pairing should work. Wood would be an amazing pickup for a New York Knicks team that hasn't won anything in a long time. I think he would sign with the Knicks on about a 3-year, $60 million contract. The next free agent we'll look at is Montrezl Harrell. Harrell was overall amazing for the Clippers this year, being their top guy off the bench and winning 6th Man of the Year. Harrell did bomb in the playoffs, which may have hurt his stock in free agency, but I still expect that he's going to get paid. It was reported that the Clippers have interest in bringing him back, but I can easily see another team outbidding the Clippers. I think Harrell ends up in Charlotte. Not only is Harrell from North Carolina, but he's close to Terry Rozier, as they both played together at Louisville. Harrell would make the Hornets so much better offensively, as he could run plenty of pick and roll action with both Rozier and Devontae Graham. Michael Jordan will probably have to break the bank for his services, so I expect that he signs with the Hornets on a 3-year, $60 to $65 million deal. Next, we have Danilo Gallinari. Gallo was one of the best stretch bigs in the league. This year, he shot 40% from three for the Thunder. Gallo could also score the ball pretty well, as he averaged 19 points per game. CP3 and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander received most of the credit for OKC's surprise playoff season this year, but Gallo's ability to score the ball efficiently at a high level was also huge. With OKC looking to rebuild, I don't think they bring Gallo back. Instead, I think he signs with the Miami Heat, who had interest in trading for Gallo at the deadline. Gallo can be a great fit as a stretch big alongside Bam and Jimmy Butler, and he can help them compete for a championship next year. I think Gallo signs a one-year $50 million deal with the Heat. The Heat are going to lock Gallo up long-term to reserve their cap room for the summer of 2021. The next guy I'm going to talk about is DeMar DeRozan. I think a lot of fans have truly forgotten how good DeRozan is. DeRozan may have failed to get Toronto over the hump for years, but DeRozan is absolutely elite. He's still an extremely athletic scoring machine, and in San Antonio, he's expanded his game to the point where he's also a good facilitator, averaging over 5 assists a game for the past 2 years. DeRozan isn't a player that's going to lead your team to a championship alone, but he'll help your team get to the playoffs. I think DeRozan signs a max deal with the Magic, who had trade interest in DeRozan this year. This may be a lot for a 30-year-old, but the Magic need an all-star player that moves the needle, as they've been stuck as a 7th and 8th seed for the past 2 years. By adding an elite shot creator to their core of Nikola Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, and Evan Fournier, the Magic will look to bring themselves up a tier in the Eastern Conference. Next, we have Jeremy Grant. Grant is low-key one of the better role players in the league. Joker and Murray, of course, received most of the credit for the Nuggets' playoff run, but Grant was also very crucial for them. In that starting small forward spot, Grant is a very good defender that was often tasked with defending the other team's best player. Grant also spaces the floor pretty well as he shot 39% from 3, and he does a pretty good job cutting and scoring off feeds from Joker. I know many teams would love to have a player like this, but the Nuggets will definitely make bringing him back a priority as he's a crucial part of their success. I think Grant ultimately resigns on about a 4-year, $50 million deal with the Nuggets. Next, we have Serge Ibaka. Ibaka is a very valuable role player for the Toronto Raptors. This year, he averaged 15 points and 8 boards a game, while shooting an impressive 38% from 3. Ibaka is an extremely valuable player in today's league because he's the rare center that can space the floor while protecting the rim at a high level. I know the Raptors would love to have him back, but after opening the checkbook on VanVleet, they're not going to be as generous with Ibaka because they want to keep their cap room open for the offseason of 2021 when they're going to look to get Giannis. I think Ibaka ends up on the New Orleans Pelicans, and I think he could be a great fit next to Zion Williamson. Zion is an absolute bully down low who can score on even the elite defensive big men effortlessly. The Pelicans need a shooting big next to Zion, and Ibaka would be perfect for that role. I think Ibaka and the Pelicans will agree on a 4-year, $52 million deal. The last player I'm going to talk about is Goran Dragic. Despite Dragic's declining athleticism, he was still a high-quality point guard for the Miami Heat. In fact, Dragic averaged 19, 4, and 4 for the Heat throughout their deep playoff run. He can still get to the rim, and even though he doesn't have any bounce anymore, he's an excellent finisher thanks to his craftiness and good touch around the rim. He can also shoot the 3-ball as he shot 35% from 3 this year. Many teams will likely reach out for the veteran point guard services, but I think he ultimately will re-sign with Miami on about a 1-year, $10 million deal to compete for a championship next year. And with that said, guys, that's going to be the end of the video. Do you agree with my free agency predictions? Where do you think these guys are going to sign? Who do you want your team to sign this offseason? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe and enjoy the rest of your day.